when my best friend turned into my biggest betrayer. Before we begin the story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss more incredible stories every day. My best friend smiles at me while my life collapses in real time. I'm standing in the glass lobby of Hargrove and Pierce, badge turned off, a security guard politely blocking the elevator like I'm a stranger. My phone keeps vibrating with the same subject line. Administrative leave, effective immediately. It's 9:12 a.m. on a Tuesday, and I'm still wearing the cheap flats I bought because Tessa said paralegals need to look sharp if they want to be taken seriously. I'm Maya, 29, and I've clawed my way into this firm from a busted childhood and a stack of community college loans. I'm not rich, I'm not connected, but I'm good at what I do. Timelines, filings, clean evidence. I'm the person partners call at 11:58 p.m. when a deadline is bleeding out. Across the lobby cafe, Tessa is in a cream blazer, hair perfect, one hand on her iced latte like it's a prop. She isn't supposed to be here. She doesn't work here. But she's watching me like she's waiting for the exact moment my face changes. I answer the HR call on speaker because my hands shake too much. Ms. Alvarez, the HR manager says, a complaint alleges you altered a client document. IT is preserving your accounts. My throat goes tight. That's impossible. I don't even have edit permissions on. Your login accessed the file at 2:14 a.m. She cuts in, voice careful. We have an audit trail. I feel my pulse in my teeth. The only person who knows my after-hours routine is Tessa and Jordan, my on and off partner, because he teases me about dating my laptop. Tessa's phone lights up. I catch the reflection, a message preview with my name and the word done. I used to call her my sister. I used to sleep on her couch and cry into her hoodie when I couldn't afford groceries. She used to whisper, I've got you. Always. Now HR asks, do you have any idea who would make this allegation? Tessa stands and walks toward me like she's coming to comfort me, all warm perfume and pity. Then my bank app sends an alert that makes my stomach drop. Tessa and I meet the way desperate people often do, in the back row of a night class, pretending we're fine. I'm 22, working double shifts as a receptionist at a vet clinic and taking paralegal courses because steady feels like salvation. Tessa slides into the seat beside me with a tote bag that says hustle, a chipped manicure, and a grin that makes strangers tell her their secrets. The professor drones about torts, and she whispers, if I fail this, my mom will actually bury me in debt. I laugh, because same. That's the first stitch. We become a package deal. Cheap tacos after class, shared flashcards, crying in the parking lot when life hits. When my car dies, she picks me up in a rattling Civic and hands me a gas station coffee like it's medicine. When her landlord locks her out, I let her sleep on my floor, and we build a blanket fort like we're kids with time. The sacrifice that seals it happens 2 years later. Tessa gets caught using her boss's card by accident, a $480 charge at a boutique. She's shaking, convinced she's going to jail. She calls me at 1:03 a.m., voice breaking into hiccups. Please, she says. Maya, I swear I'm not a thief. I panicked. I have $512 in my checking account, earmarked for tuition. I Venmo her $480 anyway. The receipt screenshot is still in my phone. Venmo, Maya A. Tessa R. $480, 1:07 a.m. with the stupid caption I wrote, breathe. We'll fix it. She pays me back in pieces and in affection. She posts me on Instagram stories like I'm a trophy, my girl, my ride or die. She holds my hand at my grandmother's funeral and whispers, I'm not leaving. Years pass. I land the job at Hargrove and Pierce. Tessa becomes a brand consultant, which mostly means curated photos and networking events. She's always one step away from big things, always short on cash, always sure the world owes her. The small moment I don't clock is the night I get my firm badge. She squeals, hugs me hard, and insists on a photo for memories, my badge swinging between us like jewelry. Later, I realize she photographed my badge while hugging me goodbye. The red flags aren't fireworks at first. They're paper cuts. Tessa starts joking about my job like it's a costume I'm lucky to wear. You're basically a legal waitress, she says at brunch, laughing too loudly. Running drinks, sorry, documents, for the real talent. When I frown, she taps my hand. Relax, Maya. I'm proud of you. She borrows things and forgets them. My blazer for a client meeting. My ring light for a shoot. My thumb drive, black, labeled Alvarez in silver Sharpie, because she needs to print a contract. She always returns something, eventually, but it's never the exact thing. The blazer comes back smelling like someone else's cologne. The thumb drive comes back wiped. Then there's Jordan. Jordan is a steady presence in my messy life. 31, software support, kind eyes, terrible jokes. We've been wobbling between together and not together for months. But he's the person I text when I'm scared. Tessa likes him in this performative way, double cheek kisses. You're the only one who can handle her. Little comments that make me feel owned. One night, Jordan and I argue because he says he got a weird DM from a burner account. Ask Maya who she really is. He shows me the screenshot. The account handle is nonsense, letters and numbers. But the profile photo is a pale pink gradient, the exact aesthetic Tessa uses for her brand. I bring it up to her gently. Hey, did you message Jordan from some random account? She looks offended, wounded. Wow, you think I'd do that? After everything I've done for you? I backpedal like I always do. No, I just. She leans in, voice suddenly soft. People get weird when you start doing well, Maya. They try to break you. You need to trust me. After that, she posts a story with a quote over a photo of champagne. When you outgrow people, they call it betrayal. 2 days later, my work email shows a login alert. New device signed in. Chrome on Windows, 2:14 a.m. The location tag matches Tessa's zip code, and my hands go cold. The first major hit lands on a Friday, dressed up like a celebration. Hargrove and Pierce hosts a charity fundraiser at a downtown rooftop. Glittering lights, silent auction items. The kind of night where everyone pretends they're generous instead of terrified of looking cheap. Paralegals aren't required to attend, but it's good exposure, so I go in my one decent dress and practice smiling without showing nerves. Tessa insists on coming as my +1. Networking, she says, adjusting my necklace like she owns my throat. She looks unreal in a satin slip dress and confidence. She's shaking hands, collecting business cards, laughing at jokes before people finish telling them. At 8:47 p.m., my phone buzzes in my clutch. Bank alert. Debit card purchase. $1,200. Lux Lounge events. I don't spend $1,200 anywhere. I don't even have $1,200 to spend. I step into a quiet corner and call the bank. While I'm on hold, I scroll transactions. There are 3 charges in the last 10 minutes. $1,200, $600, $250. My available balance drops like an elevator cut loose. Ma'am, were these authorized? The rep asks. No, I whisper. No, no, no. I turn, scanning the room like a hunted animal, and I see Tessa at the bar, my debit card between her fingers. She's holding it up, laughing, like it's a joke. I march over. Tessa, why do you have my card? Her smile doesn't move. Oh my God, Maya. Calm down. Your bag was open. I was keeping it safe. You spent money. She leans close, voice syrupy. It's for the fundraiser package. It's an investment in your image. Jordan appears beside me, brows pulled tight. Maya, what's happening? Before I can answer, Tessa raises her voice, just enough for nearby donors to hear. I told you not to drink before events. You get paranoid. It's humiliating. It's strategic. I feel eyes shift toward me, judgment assembling. Then my work email pings again, right there in the noise. HR notice. Complaint received regarding client file integrity. And Tessa's thumb strokes my debit card's chip like she's petting a weapon. By Monday, Tessa's version of me travels faster than my own. I wake up to texts that read like condolences. Heard something happened at the rooftop. You okay? Another. If you need help, please get treatment. Treatment. Like I'm a problem to be managed. My bank resolves the fraud report quickly enough to stop the bleeding, but the embarrassment sticks. When I ask Tessa for an explanation, she FaceTimes me from her car, eyes glossy like she's the victim. You screamed at me in front of clients, she says. You made me look like a thief. You used my card. I snap. I got alerts. I have the timestamps. She shakes her head slowly, pitying. You're spiraling. You always do this when you're stressed. You forget things. It's the oldest trick. Say it softly enough, and people start checking their own reality. I do too. My memory replays the bar scene in fragments. Her hand, my card, The way she angled her body so no one else could see. At work, HR escorts me out like I'm contagious. They take my badge, my laptop, even my little cactus from my desk. The HR manager won't meet my eyes when she says, "We need time to investigate. Please don't contact clients." In the break room, the one person who still speaks to me is Nina. She's 34, blunt as a hammer, and she has a talent for noticing what people try to hide. She slides a sticky note across the table. On it, she's written, "Document everything. No phone calls. Screenshots only." I whisper, "They think I altered a file." Nina's jaw tightens. "Because someone made it look like you did. Who has your passwords?" I want to say no one, but my throat closes around the truth. I've logged into my email on Tessa's laptop before. Once. Maybe twice. "Just for a second," she said. "I need to print your resume." Nina leans in. "Maya, look at me. You're not crazy. But if you keep acting like you are, they'll eat you." That night, Jordan doesn't answer my calls. He finally texts at 11:06 p.m. "We need to talk. I saw something." And attached is a screenshot of a message thread I've never seen before. Jordan comes over the next morning with his shoulders up like he's bracing for impact. He sits at my tiny kitchen table, the one with the burn mark from when Tessa and I tried to make fancy candles. "I don't want to believe this," he says, sliding his phone toward me. On the screen, an Instagram DM thread. The account name is at TwistoryOfficial, blue check style, profile photo of Tessa in a white blazer. The messages are from 2 nights before the fundraiser. "Tessa, heads up, Maya is unstable. She's been drinking again." Jordan, "What?" "She hasn't." "Tessa, please don't confront her. She lies when she panics. I'm scared she'll do something desperate." My stomach turns because the language is familiar. That's how she talks about people she's cutting out, sweet concern as a knife. I never replied, Jordan says. I blocked the account. But then I got another message from a different number. He scrolls to a text thread. Unknown number. Timestamp. Sunday 9:33 p.m. Unknown. You should check Maya's work laptop. She's hiding something. I feel heat crawl up my neck. That's insane. Jordan's voice drops. Maya, my company has an employee portal. The login attempt alerts show someone tried to reset my password last week. The email used was yours. My mouth goes dry. I open my own email on my phone. What's left of it, anyway, and search security. There's a buried notification from my bank dated Friday, 8:44 p.m. Card added to Apple Pay. Device name, Tessa's iPhone. My fingers shake as I take screenshots. Nina's sticky note flashes in my head. Screenshots only. I create a folder called Evidence and start dropping everything into it. Bank alerts, login notifications, Jordan screenshots, the HR subject line. Then I remember the work login alert from part 3. If my email was accessed at 2:14 a.m., there's a device ID somewhere. An IP address. A location. I call the firm's IT hotline and leave the calmest voicemail of my life. Hi. This is Maya Alvarez. I need a copy of the audit trail for my account activity, for my records. 5 minutes later, my phone buzzes. It's an email from HR, and the sender address looks slightly wrong. The HR email says, final opportunity to respond. My heart jumps. Then my paralegal brain kicks in. The sender is HR at Hargrove Pierce. Co. Instead of com. One missing letter, a whole fake reality. I tap, view details, and the header shows it's routed through a sketchy mail server. Phishing. Someone wants me to click, panic, incriminate myself. I forward it to Nina with a single line, fake. Look at domain. She replies instantly, good catch. Do not click. Save header. I start doing what I do best, building a timeline. Friday 8:44 p.m. My debit card is added to Apple Pay on Tessa's iPhone. Friday 8:47 p.m. The fraudulent charges hit. Friday 9:02 p.m. HR complaint email hits my work inbox. Sunday 9:33 p.m. Jordan gets the check her laptop text. Now I need a witness who isn't emotionally tangled. I call the venue from the bank alert. Lux Lounge Events. The manager, a tired-sounding guy named Mark, tells me, yeah, we had a package purchase Friday night. It was signed under T. Ray. Do you have the receipt? I ask. We can email it, he says. But you'll need to verify the card. I swallow. I'm the card holder. Mark hesitates, then lowers his voice. Look, The person who bought it. She had your card physically. She said you were busy with donors. I ask if there's CCTV. He sighs like he's done this dance before. There is. We don't release footage without a police request. A police request. My hands go cold again, but this time it's clarity, not panic. I take the bus to the suburb where Tessa lives, because my car is still dead and because some part of me still wants this to be a misunderstanding. I stand outside her townhouse, watching through the slats of her blinds. Inside, she's on the couch, laughing into her phone. On the coffee table, my black thumb drive. My labeled one. And beside it, a manila folder with my firm's logo. I raise my own phone and hit record, zooming until the label Alvarez fills my screen. Then Tessa looks up, straight at the window, like she senses me. I don't knock. I don't confront. I walk away like I'm invisible, because I finally understand the game. Tessa wins by making me react. Back home, I replay the video frame by frame. The manila folder has a sticky note on top, bright pink. I can't read the whole thing, but I can make out 2 words, settlement list. My stomach flips. That's not my personal work. That's confidential client material, names, amounts, dates. The kind of thing that can ruin lives if it leaks. Nina calls while I'm still staring at the paused video. I pulled what I could, she says. IT won't give you the full audit trail without legal, but I got one detail. The device that accessed your work email at 2:14 a.m. is labeled Tessa laptop in the system. My throat makes a sound I don't recognize. They have that. Yeah, Nina says, voice sharp. Because when you log into Outlook on a new device, it registers. Maya, she didn't just guess your password. She used your trust. I open my shared cloud drive, my personal one, and check recent activity. There's an entry from last week, downloaded, HR_forms. Zip at 1:58 a.m. Account, Maya Alvarez. Device, Windows PC. Location, Tessa's suburb. I didn't download anything at 1:58 a.m. I was asleep with my phone charging on my nightstand and Jordan's hoodie on my chair. Then another alert pops up, this time from my credit monitoring app, the cheap one I got after a data breach at the vet clinic years ago. New inquiry, Capstone Financial, 10:21 a.m. Someone is applying for credit in my name. Not just stealing money for a fundraiser package. Not just sabotaging my job. It's bigger. It's calculated. And it's meant to make me look like the criminal. I call Jordan, voice shaking. Do you know anything about Capstone Financial? He goes quiet for a beat too long. Maya, he says carefully, I might have met Tessa there once. My chest tightens. Met her where? At a coffee shop, he says. She said she needed advice. And she brought a folder with your firm's logo. Then he adds that Tessa swore I had given her permission. The next thing I do isn't brave. It's survival. I Google Tessa's full name with every keyword I can think of: chargeback, scam, employment, theft. Most of it is noise, her own press releases, her curated speaking photos. But buried in a local court database, I find a civil case from 3 years ago. Ray, Tessa versus Whitman, Claire, small claims. The filing notes, unauthorized card use, and repayment dispute. My skin prickles. I pull the docket PDF and screenshot the lines that matter. Amount in controversy, $960. Dismissed after settlement. No details, but enough to prove a pattern. I messaged the plaintiff name on LinkedIn, half expecting nothing. 15 minutes later, a reply hits. Claire Whitman. Is this about Tessa? Please tell me she's not doing it again. We talk. Short, recorded, because Nina drilled it into me. Claire's story is a mirror. Friendship, borrowing, accidental charges, then public concern posts about Claire being unstable when Claire demanded repayment. She makes you look crazy, Claire says. So everyone sides with her. Then Nina texts me a screenshot from inside the firm's shared drive, something she risks her job to grab. It's a template titled, Internal Misconduct Report, Paralegal. In the recent files list, there's an access entry from last week. User, M. Alvarez. Nina circles the timestamp, 2:13 a.m. 1 minute before the email login alert. 1 minute, Nina writes. That's not a coincidence. I need a professional before I burn my own life down. I call Priya Patel, mid-40s, voice calm like a seatbelt. Patel listens, then says, stop communicating with Tessa. Preserve everything. and assume she's already building a narrative. A narrative? I repeat. If she accessed confidential client data under your credentials, Patel says, you're her shield. My stomach flips. How do I prove it's her? Patel pauses. Do you still have access to any shared accounts she uses? And I realize I do. One old streaming login we never changed. Tessa doesn't wait for me to confront her. She brings the confrontation to my door, wrapped in kindness. At 6:22 p.m., my building buzzer rings. I'm in sweatpants, surrounded by printed screenshots like I'm building a conspiracy wall. When I answer, Tessa's voice floats up cheerful. Maya, it's me. I have soup. Soup. Like I'm sick. I don't buzz her in. I watch through the peephole instead. She stands there with a paper bag and big, worried eyes. When I stay silent, she texts. Tessa, 6:23 p.m. I'm worried about you. Please let me help. Tessa, 6:24 p.m. HR called me. They said you're not cooperating. Tessa, 6:25 p.m. I told them you're under a lot of stress and might not remember things. My blood goes cold. HR didn't call her, but she wants me to believe they did. I reply with one sentence, because Patel told me not to talk. Please communicate through my attorney. She texts back instantly. Tessa, 6:26 p.m. Attorney? Maya, are you trying to ruin my life? Tessa, 6:27 p.m. You're scaring me. I think you need someone with you. Then she does something that makes my chest seize. She calls Jordan. His name flashes on my screen a minute later, followed by a text from him. Why is Tessa crying saying you're accusing her of crimes? I call him, voice shaking. Don't go over there. Don't talk to her without me. Jordan sighs like he's tired. Maya, she showed me a screenshot. It looks like you told her your password. What screenshot? He forwards it. It's a text thread with my contact name at the top. And the message bubble reads, use my login if you need to print the forms. Same password as always. Timestamp. Last Thursday, 10:18 p.m. I stare at it until my eyes blur. I didn't send that. Nina texts me at the same time. Check the image metadata. She forges screenshots. I press and hold the screenshot Jordan sent, open the details, and my stomach drops. The file name isn't img_ like an iPhone photo. It's export_1018. PNG. Patel says, we're going to stop playing defense. She drafts a formal preservation letter to Hargrove and Pierce. Retain audit logs, badge access records, device fingerprints, IP addresses, and any complaint attachments. She copies HR, IT, and the managing partner. Seeing my story turned into bullet points makes me feel sick and powerful at the same time. Then we build the trap. Step 1. Patel files a police report for identity theft. Not because I think cops are magic, but because it creates a paper trail and unlocks things like CCTV requests. The officer who takes the report, Ruiz, calm and tired, gives me a case number at 10:41 a.m. I screenshot it like it's oxygen. Step 2. Patel emails Lux Lounge Events with the case number and a request to preserve footage from Friday 8:40 to 9:10 p.m. She also requests the signed receipt under T. Ray. Mark, the manager, replies, understood. We will retain all records. Step 3. Jordan agrees to one thing, finally choosing a side. He texts Tessa. Maya wants to clear the air. Coffee tomorrow? He CCs me so I can screenshot the invite. Tessa replies within minutes. Of course. I just want her safe. She chooses the place. A bright cafe near the courthouse. All white tile and windows. No corners, no shadows. Perfect for her image. Perfect for my evidence. Patel tells me, you don't confront her emotionally. You confront her with documents. So I print everything. The bank alerts, the Apple Pay device name, the phishing HR email header, the court docket with Claire Whitman's name, Jordan's forged screenshot with export_1018. PNG. I highlight dates like they're wounds. Nina meets me outside the cafe, arms crossed, ready to bite. Remember, she says, she'll try to make you cry. Jordan arrives last, face pale. If I'm wrong, he whispers, I'll never forgive myself. At 2:03 p.m., Tessa walks in wearing that cream blazer again, smiling like forgiveness. And right behind her, I see the manila folder with my firm's logo. Tessa hugs me like we're on camera. Oh my God, she coos, loud enough for nearby tables. I've been so worried. I don't hug back. I slide into the chair and place a thin folder on the table. My folder, not hers. Jordan sits beside me, hands clenched. Nina takes a seat at another table, pretending to scroll, but I can feel her eyes like a guard dog. Patel waits outside, per our plan, until I give the signal. Tessa sets the manila folder on the table between us like it's innocent. The firm logo faces up. My stomach twists. So, she says, tilting her head, are we done with the drama? I pull out the first page, a screenshot of my bank alert. Friday, 8:44 p.m. My debit card gets added to Apple Pay. Device name, Tessa's iPhone. She blinks, then laughs. You can name devices anything, Maya. Sure, I say and slide the next page. The Lux Lounge receipt Mark emailed me, time-stamped 8:46 p.m. Signed T-Ray. And you can also sign anything, right? Her smile tightens. You're embarrassing yourself. Jordan's voice cracks. Tess, why did you tell me Maya gave you permission? She turns to him instantly, eyes shining. Because she did. You saw the text. I slide Jordan's screenshot back across the table, but this time I include the file details Patel had me extract. Created, 10:20 p.m. Edited, 10:24 p.m. File name, export_1018. PNG. Not a screenshot. An export. Tessa stares. A flicker of panic crosses her face, gone in a heartbeat. You're stalking me. I tap my phone, and Patel walks in, professional and calm. Tessa Ray, she asks. I'm Priya Patel, counsel for Maya Alvarez. From this point forward, you communicate through me. Tessa's cheeks flush. This is insane. Patel sets down one more document, an IT log the firm finally released after Patel's letter. It lists my account access at 2:14 a.m. Device labeled Tessa laptop, IP address matching Tessa's home internet provider. The cafe noise fades in my ears. Tessa's mask slips. You don't understand, she whispers, voice suddenly sharp. You had a career. You had stability. I had nothing. Patel asks, then why did you download the settlement list? Tessa's eyes snap to the manila folder, and her fingers tighten like claws. The aftermath isn't a single explosion. It's a slow-building collapse. Tessa stands up so fast her chair screeches. People look over. She forces a laugh that sounds like glass breaking. This is harassment, she says, voice loud. Maya has mental health issues. She's obsessed. Patel doesn't blink. There's an active identity theft report. Sit down. That's when Tessa makes her worst mistake. She grabs the manila folder like she's taking her property. Jordan reaches out on instinct. Tess, don't. A packet of papers slides out onto the cafe table. I see names, case numbers, and in bold at the top. Confidential, settlement, disbursement schedule. My firm's watermark. My credentials on the footer. The barista's eyes widen. A stranger's phone lifts, recording. Tessa freezes, then scoops the papers back up with shaking hands. Officer Ruiz arrives 10 minutes later because Patel texts him our location. He doesn't cuff her dramatically. He just asks for the folder and her phone. Tessa tries to refuse. Ruiz's voice stays calm. Ma'am, if you don't cooperate, this gets worse. Tessa's eyes dart to me, and the hatred there is almost intimate. You think you're better than me, she hisses. You think your little job makes you untouchable. At the firm, HR moves fast once Patel forwards the IT log and the police case number. By that afternoon, the tone of their emails changes from allegation to we are investigating unauthorized access under your credentials. They still don't apologize. They just pivot. I'm reinstated pending review, but my reputation has a bruise you can't see. People in the hallway stop talking when I pass. One partner avoids my eyes entirely. Jordan sits on my couch that night, head in his hands. I brought her into my world, he whispers. I thought she was your family. Nina texts me a photo of the office gossip board. Someone has printed a meme of a woman with crazy eyes and taped it near my name. Nina has ripped it down, but the message lands anyway. At 2:02 a.m., Tessa posts a video titled The Truth About Maya. Tessa's video gets views fast because pain is entertaining when it isn't yours. She cries on camera in perfect lighting, saying I'm dangerous and vindictive, that I'm trying to steal her future. She doesn't mention the settlement list. She doesn't mention my debit card. She just repeats the one word that sticks, unstable. Patel has it removed within 24 hours by sending the platform a notice with the police case number and evidence of identity theft. But the clip has already been screen recorded, reposted, whispered about. Nina tells me, "You can't unring a bell, but you can show receipts." So I rebuild like I'm recovering from a fire. First, I lock everything down. Credit freeze with all 3 bureaus. Two-factor authentication on every account. Password manager. New bank card. Patel makes me create a written list of compromised items: badge photo, laptop access, thumb drive, streaming login. It feels humiliating, like admitting I left my door open. Second, I stop chasing closure from people who like drama more than truth. I send one group text to our mutual friends. "I'm not discussing this by rumor. If you want facts, talk to my attorney." Half of them vanish. The quiet is a relief. Third, I set boundaries with Jordan. We sit on my couch, hands wrapped around mugs we don't drink. "I need you to tell me the whole truth," I say. "Did you help her?" Jordan swallows. "She asked how to clean metadata on images," he admits. "I thought it was for brand posts. I didn't know she meant this." It hurts, but it's honest, and honesty is the only thing that feels safe now. We agree on new rules. No shared passwords, no friend favors, without context, no letting charming people into our private spaces just because they smile. Ruiz calls a week later. "We pulled the cafe CCTV," he says, "and Lux Lounge footage is in." My heart stutters. "Is it clear?" "It's clear enough," Ruiz replies. "And Ms. Ray has an attorney." I stare at my reflection in the dark window, suddenly aware of how tired I look. Then Ruiz adds, "There's one more name in those settlement documents you should recognize." The name Ruiz mentions is Capstone Financial, not just on my credit inquiry, but on a referral email chain pulled from Tessa's phone. Patel lets me read the sanitized summary. In plain language, Tessa shops my firm's settlement schedule to a broker at Capstone, pitching it as lead lists for high-risk loan offers. People who just got paid out are vulnerable. They answer calls. They sign. They sync. And she plans to use my credentials as the cover story if anyone asks where the data came from. The one more name I recognize as Jordan's. His work email is on the chain, forwarded once, months ago, when he helped Tessa set up a secure inbox. He didn't sell anything, but his connection is why she felt bold enough to circle my life like a shark. Ruiz's case moves quietly after that. No cinematic arrest. Just subpoenas, statements, and a prosecutor who doesn't laugh when Patel says unauthorized access under stolen credentials. Tessa loses her brand partnerships first, then her apartment, then her ability to charm her way out of consequences. Claire Whitman messages me again. "Thank you. I thought I was the only one." At Hargrove and Pierce, HR finally clears my record in writing. The memo is short and cold. No apology, just no misconduct substantiated. Patel negotiates a small settlement for reputational harm and requires the firm to update their security policies so this doesn't happen to the next exhausted employee who trusts the wrong person. I start therapy. I learn that loyalty without boundaries is just unpaid labor. I learn to listen when my body says unsafe, even if my heart says, "But she loves me." Nina takes me out for tacos like old times, and when I laugh, it surprises me. Jordan and I don't magically become perfect, but we become honest, and that feels like rebuilding on solid ground. If you're living through a betrayal like this, screenshot everything, check domains, freeze your credit, and don't argue with someone who profits from your confusion. Sometimes the person you lose is the proof you finally chose yourself.